अवल्लल्लाहु अलैहि आला आलम जोधड़ी कादिर पंजी कुदरत की कायम वाहे कदीम वाली वाहिद वहदहु राज़िक रब रहीम सो सारा सचोधड़ी चई हमद हकीम करे पाण करीम जोड़ू जोड़ जहान respected teachers and all the listeners, Assalamu alaikum. We don't have equal talent, but we have equal opportunity to develop our talent. With this quotation, Shahzaman Sonagi is in front of you.
There is no calamity greater than lavish desire. There is no greater greed than disaster. With this quotation, I am Muqaddas Rajput. Assalamu alaikum.
If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. By this quotation, I am Tanish Kumar.
To be ambitious. It's a good idea to be ambitious, to have goals, to want to do what you are good at.
It is terrible mistake to get led drive and ambition get away with people kindness and decency.
It is no point that they will feel nice about you, but it is the point that you will feel better about yourself. By this quotation, we are the ambitious. Let's embark upon the journey of the knowledge, Macbeth, which is written by William Shakespeare, the great author of England. He was born in 1564 and was died in 1660. He was an Englishman. He was famous playwright, author, and poet. His most famous work includes Hamlet, Merchant of Venice, Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet.
Now let's come to the introduction of the book. Sir William Shakespeare wrote this play in 1606. This is a tragic play. Tragic in a sense, those stories which have an unhappy ending, sad ending. The major conflict in this story revolves around the Macbeth's own struggle for the power. And the climax of this story is all about the tragedy.
Now let's talk about the characters of the story. So the first character of the story was King Duncan. King Duncan was the king of Scotland and was the father of two youthful sons, Malcolm and Donalbain. He has two generals in his army, Macbeth and Glasgow. Macbeth was the relative of King Duncan and also a general in his army. He was such a greedy and disloyal person who wants to become the king of Scotland. He was a very wicked person who rules over whole kingdom.
Let's talk about the themes in this novel. As books are not written for any particular period or any particular year, but these books are written for centuries and ages. So similarly, these books contain some kind of themes that we, in this century, these are applicable in our life. So talk about the themes, supernaturals. This story, it starts with some supernatural elements. Some of them are witches and also the ghost and dagger, which is visible to the Macbeth. And after that, there is the theme of greediness. What is greediness? It is and other minor characters. The Macbeth was a general and he was to become the king of Scotland. So he applied different tricks and different ideas to be the king. And after to be the king, he was become very tyrant and very greedy, and he killed the king of Scotland by name Duncan.
Now the next thing is ambition. Both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth want to become the king and rule over the whole kingdom. They forgot their moral goals to achieve their immoral goals. The next step is tyranny. Not only Macbeth was responsible for his tyranny, but Lady Macbeth was also responsible for his tyranny. Macbeth becomes so cruel because he wants to become the king. He killed Macbeth Macbeth and with his family, he also attacked Banquo and his sons. But fortunately, Banquo's sons flee escapes out. But when Banquo was killed by his servant, he also killed the King Duncan and became the King of Scotland.
Now we have two teams, loyalty and the revenge. These both teams are considered as the characters of the Macbeth and the Macbeth. As the king, there was the king of Scotland named the King Duncan, and there was the relative of him named as Macbeth. There was a servant of the king named Macbeth. So, Lady Macbeth was the wife of Macbeth. She misguided her husband to kill the king and to be the king. In this way, she would be the queen of the Scotland. First of all, Macbeth refused because he had a great respect in his heart for the king, and he was a relative of him. So, first he refused, but after that, she was saying, as Lady Macbeth was saying continuously, that you should kill the king and you should be the king. After that, finally, the Macbeth changed his mind. He thought to kill the king and to be the king. So when he killed the king, when the public knew about the death of the King Duncan, they all were shocked. They all were sad. And the servants knew about the death of the king. What did he do? He was also really very sad. He said that I have to investigate, I have to know what is the reason behind the death of the King Duncan. So he investigated thoroughly about the death of the King Duncan, as he came to know that the Macbeth has killed the king. So for proving his loyalty with the king, he thought to take revenge from Macbeth. He led his army and took revenge from the Macbeth to prove his loyalty with the king, only for the sake of the king.
Now, let's talk about the whole story. There was a war between Scotland and Ireland. Macbeth and Banquo was fighting bravely. Fortunately, they won the war. But they were come in their way, three witches were appeared. First witch said to Macbeth that you will be the Thane of Cawdor, and the second witch said to Macbeth that you will be the king of Scotland, and third witch said to Banquo that your child will be the king of Scotland in future. They were both thinking about their prophecies. After a while, two servants from king has reached. They said to Macbeth that king gave you a new title, that was the Thane of Cawdor. Macbeth was very surprised because the first prophecy by which has come true. Now he wrote a letter towards his lady Macbeth and told the whole story about his journey, and said that King Duncan will be the guest at our castle tonight.
As the first prophecy by the witch comes to fulfill, so the Macbeth thinks that the other prophecies can be also true. So he worked on these things, and the Lady Macbeth gave him great support that he can be the king of Scotland. He also gave power to the Macbeth that he is going to be the king, and he became very violent and greedy that he killed the king of Scotland, and as he was the general of the Scotland army and one of the most faithful man to the king, and also one of the relatives from the king's family, so he became the king of Scotland.
Now let's talk about the death of the Macbeth, how he died. As Macbeth had a battle with the Macbeth in the very last, so in this battle, the Macbeth died.
Now let's talk about the main character of the story, or the protagonist of the story. Macbeth was the protagonist of the story. He was the one nobleman of the Scotland. He was a loyal person to King Duncan and also a Duncan's son Malcolm. He was a legendary hero and plays a pivotal role, and eventually kills the Macbeth to save the Scotland from his tyranny.
Let's talk about some differences from other book, that how this book, the Macbeth novel, is related to the other. As the King Lear we will complete this book according to the themes of Macbeth and King Lear. In King Lear, there is the king of King Lear was a king, and similarly in the Macbeth, the King Duncan was the king. And in this, there was a great greediness. There are two daughters of King Lear, one being the most prosperous in their life, and also in Macbeth, the Macbeth was the king, and he was very greedy in his life.
Another reference with this, we have the Hamlet. We have the reference of Hamlet. In these both plays, in these both stories, there is the greediness of becoming the king. There is only greediness of becoming the king. In this story, in the Hamlet's story, Hamlet's uncle killed his father and became the king. In this, our Macbeth story, his own relative, king's own relative, kills the king to be the king.
Power. A powerful person can misuse his power, but it always leads him equality, injustice, and also erosion in trust, and it always leads him towards destruction.
Morals. Unchecked ambitions lead to the destruction. This is the moral of this story. It means we don't have to be greedy, we don't have to be blind in greediness that we kill our own leaders and be the leaders. Those ones cannot be the leaders who kill their leaders or only becoming the leaders. This is not fair thing. We kill our own elders, our ideals to be those. This is not the thing that is.
Let's conclude the story that what the whole story was about. As at the end of the story, there was a war between Macbeth and King of Scotland, Macbeth. So in the war, Macbeth killed the king, Macbeth, and there was restoration of peace in the country of Scotland. Everybody was living their lives peacefully after the death of Macbeth, because he was very tyrant, he was very greedy, and he wanna save his life from the enemy. So as Macbeth killed the Macbeth, there was a restoration of peace in the country of Scotland. Thank you.